Hey, and welcome to a special episode of Worlds Collide, the podcast about moving abroad. I am your host, Viktoria, and I'm so glad you're here for this special squeezed-in episode. So this is for the upcoming Juneteenth. So this episode is about Diane and Nicole, and they're the founders of the Black Americans in Lisbon community, and they're getting together all the time, and they're talking about like their meetings and like how they want to support their culture like abroad. All right, and before I start, I just wanted to let you know that there are also two ways how you could support the podcast. So one is you can leave a 5-star rating wherever you listen to the podcast, because that will always help draw more attention to it, and then you have like more listeners. And yeah, and you can like spread the word. That's awesome. And then the other way is you could buy me a cup of coffee. Like you can buy me a cup of coffee through the link in the show notes. It's buymeacoffee.com/worldscollidepod, and you can just chip in whatever you want, like $1, $2, $3, whatever it is, how much coffee costs nowadays, probably like $10 a cup. Anyway, but I'm happy to less anyway. I don't really like asking for money, but anyway, this helps to keep this podcast afloat, and I can bring you more episodes that way. Thank you, by the way, for the last donation, Heidi. That was so generous. You really made my day. Thank you. But enough of that now. This intro gets too long. I will let you now listen to the whole episode or the whole conversation with Nicole and Diane from Black Americans in Lisbon. Here it is. Hi, today on my podcast are Diane and Nicole. Welcome to the podcast. How are you guys?
Hi, we're good. We're great.
Nice. So tell me, where are you guys right now?
We are currently in Lisbon, Portugal.
In Portugal. How long have you been there?
Just about 2 years.
Okay. And where are you from originally?
We are from California, Sacramento, California.
Oh, from Sac. And so why did you choose to move to Lisbon?
For me, I love the culture. Truthfully, I really love the culture of the Portuguese people. I love how diverse it is, culturally diverse, the walkability, the weather, the beaches, the food. So all those things really appealed to me.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, it was really all of those things, but through the lenses of being an older individual, what I saw was a really great quality of life as an older individual, and being able to stay physically active, to be able to have that physically active, supported by having a great mass transportation. I can get anywhere I want without needing to drive or worry about somebody taking my driver's license away from me when I get older, which makes my world get smaller because I can't drive. And it's supported by the very fresh food, the very good ability to basically be still involved with arts and craft and music and everything that I love about life. It just gave me a really great quality of life as I got older. I didn't see my world getting smaller. I saw my world staying the same size and being able to get even bigger if I moved here to Lisbon and to Porto.
Nice. Have you visited before?
We came in 2022 to visit for a month and kind of went throughout the country, north and south, and then in Lisbon, and then we moved in 2023.
Okay, so and when you visited, was it already like a visit to find a place to move to? Or was it just like, oh, we're just gonna go on vacation and then we'll see, and then we're like, oh, let's just move here?
No, it was intentional. It was a consideration, a place for
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you remember other places you had in mind?
Yeah, I looked at Mexico City. I looked at Costa Rica. I looked at other places in the United States. So I kind of was looking all over, but really trying to focus on more abroad.
Mm-hmm.
And then Portugal kind of came on my radar, and that's when I decided to come here to check it out.
And for me,
Okay.
it was a place to come visit because I had retired in just after COVID or during the COVID thing, and all of the countries of Europe were closed still. And as things started reopening back up, it was an opportunity to fulfill a long dream of go to Europe after I retired. And the only country, or one of the few countries that was opening up safely, maintaining safety protocols was Portugal. So I came really through the lenses of this is my long awaited vacation to Europe, and I'm going to come and I'm going to have a wonderful time here. And so we kind of came under two different venues. But when she decided that this would work for her long desired move abroad spot, um, it for me at first was just okay. Well, I need to move to the west coast from the west coast to the east coast. Um,
Mm-hmm.
it'd be too far to fly over, and
Right.
she was just like, "Well, if you're going to move all the way across the whole continent of the United States, the country, you might as well just move across the Atlantic Ocean as
Right.
well."
Just a little
And
jump more.
coming to Lisbon together.
Nice. And did you plan it also in the beginning that you both come together?
To move or to just visit?
Yeah, to move.
I think no, we hadn't thought about it originally, but it
No.
soon quickly became that plan.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And have you always been really close?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, we have been.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice. I mean, I guess that comes with it because otherwise you would not have asked your mother, "Hey, can you come with me?" if you would not have been, right?
Very true.
Mm-hmm.
And so what was the main reason for you to leave the United States?
For me, I never felt like the United States is the culture that I really
Mm-hmm.
I really related to. And then for me, it was also the growing racism in the United States. I faced
Yeah.
a lot of it, and it became inhospitable for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I realized that for me to have a better life for my future, I did not see that place as a place for me to be anymore.
And I,
Right, right.
as her mom, I fully understood the sentiments that she had with regard to, yes, the increased hostility that was occurring in the United States and in the opportunities that were going to be potentially not available as a young person in the United States trying to navigate your life. But like I said, as a person being older, I just kept seeing a whole lot of assisted living homes being built, and I kept seeing a lot of memory care homes being built in the area of Sacramento where I lived. Every time I turned around, there was a new, 1,000-bed home being built, and it was like there
Mm.
was the plan for being older was to go into some assisted living place or to have some memory care ward where you're supposed to wander around until you check out. And I just like
Mm.
not what I want for myself. I do not want to be in assisted living home. I do not want to be in a memory care home. And between the food, the quality of food, the lack of ability to move around safely, it was like this is not what life is supposed to be. When you've worked really, really hard,
Right.
you're supposed to be able to retire and enjoy it and have a great quality of life. And I just did not see that happening.
Okay. All right, that makes sense. And so how was it then when you first moved to Lisbon? Like how was settling in, and so how were first the technicalities?
So the process of getting the visa, that took longer than expected. We were expecting to get
Ah,
it probably like February or March. We didn't end up getting it until May.
what
We
kind
still
of
don't
visa
know
is
why.
it?
D7 visa. Yeah, we
And
still
what
don't
is
know.
like?
It's like just for retired people because we were traveling together.
Ah, okay.
So we
Mhm.
don't.
And it connects your visa too?
Mhm.
Ah, okay.
So we don't necessarily really know why it was delayed, but just is how it ended up being. So it just gave us
Uh-huh.
more time to kind of prepare to move. But once we did move, fortunately for us, it wasn't too difficult as far as getting our residency card or having our appointment. We were very
Mm-hmm.
fortunate. It went very, very smooth.
Okay. And how was it then finding a home in Lisbon? So once
That
you
was
got out of
actually
the
not bad at all
Not bad
either.
at
Yeah,
all.
we came for 3 weeks, the October
uh-huh.
for our appointment, and in those 3 weeks we found an apartment and got the lease and everything. So it was very smooth.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
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 Yes. And tell me a little bit about that retirement visa. Is it this then forever, or like how is it for 5 years or
We renew it after 5 years.
okay.
You renew it. We're on our second year, so you get your visa. It's good for your resident card. It's good for 2 years. You renew it at that point in time, and then we'll look at it at year 5. And if we have met the requirement that the Portuguese government has put forth to be able to acquire citizenship here, then we will be granted our EU citizenship here,
Yeah.
then enables us to have an EU passport and all of the other rights that are afforded. We can vote, we can do everything that a regular EU citizen can do that lives here in this country.
Yeah. Yeah. Is that your plan?
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah, that's great. And so how is your Portuguese?
It's not bad actually. Like I can speak a lot of Portuguese, and I understand probably like 80% of what is being
Okay.
better every
Okay.
day. I practice every day. So CC.
She's
How
for that, so I am behind. I don't have that level
okay.
of proficiency, but I can say that I knew absolutely nothing about the language, and today I can definitely read it with very little problem at all.
Okay.
Be much more courageous about speaking up, but I can order what I want or buy what I want in the store. I just need to work on my listening and my conversational skills. But I know
Uh-huh.
more than I knew before I showed up here.
And so did you go to like a language school or did you do just like bilingual what is it called? Um
Duolingo.
yeah, Duolingo, yeah, or something like
Yeah,
that.
no, so I went to A1 in October and then did another A2 the following in January. And then since then I've kind of just been studying on my own, learning words, practicing, just kind of more integrating. I think those
Mhm.
have been the best things. Like now I kind of try to dedicate at least 30 minutes a day to going over flashcards, learning new words. I've been fortunate to make friends who speak Portuguese as well.
Mhm.
So that helps
Okay.
a lot too.
Okay. And Nicole, what are you doing now? Could you also get like a work permit with your visa?
I could, yeah. I could
Yeah.
do a permit, yeah. But
Okay. So were
I don't.
you able to find a job in Lisbon?
I still work remotely from the States.
Ah, oh, okay. Oh, even better.
Yeah, exactly.
Ah, that's easy. Oh, that's great. I mean, yeah.
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 So how do you make friends?
Just by having shared interests, truthfully. Like you just find interests that you have and then you go out and do them and you find other people who have similar interests and
Okay, so you just go to the gym or you're gonna go take a class and
yeah.
something. So you're active that way.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yes, and you too, Diane?
Absolutely, yeah. I meet people by the activities that are my hobbies. I had hobbies and when I lived in the States, and that was one of the things what I looked at when I was here, which is what is there for me to do since I was a newly retired
Yeah,
person.
yeah.
And I found a lot of the things that I enjoyed doing here. And I got plugged into those activities, and that's basically how I am finding people that I am connecting with that are my friends and are becoming my friends. Many of them
Mm-hmm.
are Portuguese, so they speak Portuguese
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
so, but they know I want to learn Portuguese, so they're very good at holding me accountable to using as much of the Portuguese that I know. And when I'm speaking or writing or talking with them, they are very helpful in helping me get to my goal of being fluent in speaking Portuguese.
Yeah, and what kind of hobbies do you do?
Well, this evening I will be heading out. Every Monday night I sing with the Lisbon Community Choir, which is
Uh-huh.
a choir of about 70 people, and we are invited to sing throughout Lisbon and throughout places in Portugal. We sing songs that are pop songs. We sing Portuguese songs, English songs, African songs. We sing in multiple different languages.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
So I am a member of that. And I also dance. I have a dance community that I've plugged into. I've danced since I was 3. I found a dancing community here, and I've been learning all the social dances that they do here. So when I am out and about, I know what to do, and I know how to dance the dances that are popular here.
Oh, and that's so nice. And and so the friends you made, do those speak English too? So can you, or is it more like hand and feet kind of communication, especially in the beginning when you were not so yeah, fluent or didn't feel so confident?
So for me,
Good.
for my friends, all of them do speak English, but now I am meeting people who maybe English is not as strong, and I'm able
Uh-huh.
to be able to connect with them more too. So it's been evolved from
Nice. Uh-huh.
early English speakers to now people who maybe English is not their strongest language.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the same would be for me. The people that I know, they are bilingual. They speak English fairly well, and they also are fluent in Portuguese. And since I'm have expressed an interest to have my Portuguese become stronger, they have rallied around me to support me and encourage me in moving to being able to speak more fluently. I meet every week with a friend that I've met, and we just speak nothing but Portuguese the entire time that we meet together for coffee or dessert or something like that. Because again, it's about being intentional about learning the language. And if I've expressed that desire to learn the language, they are definitely willing to help me learn the language and support me as I move that way.
Yeah. And when you guys moved there, did you also feel more welcome, or was it like a different feeling in terms of, because like you said, Nicole, in the beginning, like you never like felt in the same way as like the American culture, or what about the racism problem? How would you describe the situation where you are now?
It's been fine. It's
It's
been
better?
everyone's been very welcoming. I've had no negative incidents whatsoever.
Uh-huh.
The community has been absolutely wonderful. So I've not had any issues whatsoever meeting people, talking to people, getting to know people, being welcomed by the community. No issues at all.
Nice. Awesome. Yeah. And for you too, Diane, can you say the same?
Absolutely the same. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I've not had any negative experiences. I feel perfectly safe wandering through the city of Lisbon. I've been out at various different activities. Nobody has been rude or disrespectful. I've not had that energy that we have often felt when we have been in the States from different people. So I don't
Mm-hmm.
have that at all. I have not had that negative energy come towards me simply because of my appearance and how I show up.
Right.
Hmm.
Right. So is it almost like a weight fell off your shoulders?
Definitely, definitely. Lisbon is much more diverse than the United States is, so that
Uh-huh.
helps a lot.
Oh
Yeah.
wow. So is it just Lisbon or also Portugal?
I would
The
say
diversification.
primarily Lisbon. Porto is less diverse, and same with probably like the Algarve region as well. But that is changing and growing every single
Yeah.
day.
Yeah.
Lisbon
I
being
feel like everybody wants to move to Portugal always. Like everyone I talk to, it's like Portugal would be awesome.
Yeah.
exactly.
Hmm.
But as far as like the most diverse, definitely it's Lisbon.
Yeah. Yeah. And like as you said, like people are from everywhere. Yeah. Okay. And and then now I want to come about your Black Americans in Lisbon community. So tell me a little bit about it.
Yeah, so it's a community that we actually started about a week after we got here. We have a celebration in the United States every year called Juneteenth, and it is
Mm-hmm.
a celebration of the day that the last enslaved people were made aware that they were free in Texas. And so we came here and we celebrated it for years, and we realized that it was not being celebrated here, but there were
Mm-hmm.
Black Americans here. So we decided to put together an event
Mm-hmm.
just to celebrate. It was just a very casual picnic. We had over 30 people come to it
Oh,
there,
nice.
and people had such a great time connecting and hanging out and had mentioned the desire for a community. And so we decided from that day to create the community of Black Americans in Lisbon. So it's a social group And we get together every Wednesday and for breakfast, where people who are living here as well as those who are visiting can come together every Wednesday, talk about any challenges they have, successes they have, just life in general. Those who are visiting or planning to move here can bounce off questions that they have, and it just kind of gives the opportunity to foster community. And so we also are going to be prepping right now for our Juneteenth in June 15th of this year. So it's just a social group to just give people a chance to celebrate their culture, connect with each other, and just kind of create again that safe space.
Yes. How did you guys meet all the other people? Was it like you created a Facebook group, or was there already a Facebook group?
Yeah, so we made a Facebook group, but then I think we just kind of put it on Eventbrite, truthfully, and people just came.
Oh,
Yeah,
all
we put it
right.
that we were actually kind of wondering what should we call it, because nobody knew us. We had just literally arrived to the
Yeah,
country, so it's not like so. So in posting it to the Eventbrite, we said, "Well, we are Black Americans in Lisbon," so
Yeah,
we just put it.
So make it very obvious. Yeah.
And that became the name of our social group, and that became the name
Uh-huh.
of the Facebook page. And people basically connected around that and came out. And I think one of the things that we've seen as we've lived here now almost 2 years is Lisbon is a space that does celebrate the diverse cultures that are here in Lisbon. And as Black Americans, we have a culture as well. And so, to have space to celebrate our culture and what it represents to us became an important thing. So, we have, it's outside of Juneteenth, which is coming up for us. We also have celebrated Black History Month here. We've celebrated Martin Luther King Day here. And any other thing that, makes our culture important to us that we find that we need to celebrate, recognize, and hold up with value is something that this group wants to do. And we
Yeah,
invite
nice.
people to live here, and we invite people that are visiting, and we invite people that are curious about the Black American culture to also join us
Right.
as well.
Okay. Okay. And so did you make like really great friends through this?
Yeah, we've met like a lot of different people, I would say.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, we've met a lot of people.
We have met a lot of people. I started off with a very small phone list of people, and I have a very large phone list of people now
Yeah,
because
yeah, nice. Yeah.
people come into Portugal to visit, to scout, and those people that had already made the move, it gave them a place to come to and to start connecting with other individuals that they did not know were here in town.
We probably
Ah,
assisted.
okay.
How many people have moved since
Oh
the
my
group has
gosh,
started?
we've in the past 2 years, I want to say we've probably assisted or helped no less than probably 20 people.
Mm-hmm.
20
Make them
people
move
Oh,
here.
at
nice.
least
Okay. See, yeah.
and come.
Right. That's awesome. Yes. So maybe it's also to the listener, they can reach out to you like via email
Yeah,
or something to if they have
yeah,
questions.
yeah,
Hmm.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so do you remember like when you set up the first event, like what did you think like how many people would show up?
We thought really no one would really show up. We were going to
We
be
did.
Oh,
happy if,
really?
yeah, it was the
Yeah.
turnout was very, very surprising.
Yeah.
Oh,
Extremely
that's nice.
surprising.
We were
Uh-huh.
very
And then
surprised.
did you decide then right on the spot like, hey, let's do it a weekly thing?
No, the people who came actually said that they really appreciated it and they wanted something that would kind of give them the space. They kind of pushed for the community. We had just thought
Uh-huh.
we were just going to do a one-time thing, and they had really pushed and said, no, we need to have a space for weekly connection and community and being able to connect with one another. So we listened and kind of put it together.
Yeah.
Yeah, awesome.
What was supposed to be a simple picnic turned out to be a marathon from picnic to dinner, with no one wanting to leave and go home. So it,
Uh,
it was conversations, and out of that came Black Americans in Lisbon.
and did you where's the location? So where do you always have your breakfast?
We have it at a cafe that's like in the middle of the city. So we make sure it's
Mm-hmm.
the same place every week. And what's really great about that is that it allows us to get to know the people that work there. So we also do a fundraiser at the end of the year where we actually raise funds to do like a Christmas gift for those who have spent the whole year with us.
And
Ah,
they
that's
were
so
in the cafe,
nice.
so we call it Give Back Christmas. And our community collects funds, and then we give back to each of the employees a gift, a cash gift for them to be able to have a wonderful Christmas with their family, buy whatever they need to buy, or so it is a way that we give back to
Right.
them
That's
for them
such a
giving
great
us all year.
idea.
Yeah.
That's a generous, or like a well thought of gift. Oh no, tip. You know.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
because again, we believe that we're here to be a part of the community. We are a community of Black Americans, but we live in the community of Portugal, and
Mm-hmm.
having that connection and being able to build those relationships with those people who are seeing us every single week in the store, and also, yeah, making that connection.
Very
Yeah,
important to
and
do.
yeah, and how is the? I mean, Juneteenth is coming up soon.
Yeah.
Yes.
So how is your celebration different than this? I mean, than your usual meetups. I mean.
Yeah, so usually it's much bigger. We usually have, I think last year we had about 50 plus people who came out for it, which was really great because it was only our second year. We expect this year to be even larger. We actually have a committee that is actually putting it together, and they've been working on it, yeah, since the top of January. Getting flyers together, getting the word out, partnering with other organizations that are in the city too, because again, it's for us to celebrate our culture but also share our culture with
Mm-hmm.
other people here. So it's
Yeah.
much more organized now than the first one.
Exactly. Way more
Right. And
organized.
yeah, is it though still in the same place, or did you then go to like a nicer, bigger
So
venue, or
no, we've had it the past two times in a park. It will still be in a park
yeah.
to this time because we want to be able to have it be accessible to all. So it's
Yeah.
very informal, but we do want it to feel homey. Part of the Black American culture is we do a lot of picnics. We do a lot of, cookouts and gatherings. We
Uh-huh.
want to keep it in that same vein as
Yeah.
Yeah,
well.
We
yeah, of
wanted to reflect
course.
what our culture is, and our culture is very much about making sure that anybody who wants to participate can participate, that there's not,
Uh-huh.
a prohibitive reason for why someone can't come to
Mm-hmm.
the event. And while it is a picnic, is in terms of um, it's casual in that way. I liken it to almost like a mini family reunion. There is some order and some structure. So we have some plans of some different activities to be happening during the time that we come together, that are activities and things that most of the time when we get together, these are the things that we like to do. And then at the same time, sharing those across to people that have no clue, and are
Right.
curious and interested, would like to know.
Right. All right. Thanks for sharing all this information. And I will make sure that when I post this, I will also include a link. I only have a flyer, though. Maybe, do you have a website too?
No, we don't have a website. So we do have the Facebook group, the Black Americans in
Okay.
Lisbon, but we
Okay,
will
but I
have the
can do this for sure.
information for yeah, we'll have the information for the Juneteenth too. We can
Yeah,
share
it will
that
be
over.
on that. And
Okay,
we
yeah,
also
I
have
will
an
share all this.
Yeah,
well. So we have
Instagram too.
Instagram. So it will be probably on our Instagram as well.
Okay, I'll make sure that I will like link all this on the show notes on the podcast too.
Okay.
And then and you mentioned it in the beginning a few times. You enjoy the food so much. Can you talk about the food a little bit?
Yeah, the food here is to me it's very amazing. I love fish. I love pork. I love chicken. All the different foods. It's very fresh. I think what I do love the most about the food here is it's not overly processed. So you're going to
Mm-hmm.
get a lot of food that doesn't have a lot of additives or preservatives in it. It's very very fresh, and we like to eat out. I do appreciate that about the culture here. Eating out and sharing a meal is something that is normal here. So you're
Mm-hmm.
going to have a lot of people just, sitting out and eating. If it's just, even if it's just a small cafe or something, you're going to be having that
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Also on top of that, I think Portugal is very big on community sharing time together, and sharing space together. So you're never rushed to have the table move to the next patron or the next
Right.
client.
Yeah, yeah. I know exactly what you mean. Yeah.
So, so sitting and enjoying the meal and then lingering over a glass of wine and a really good conversation that is going on between family and friends is never rushed. You're never made to feel
Mm-hmm.
like you need to leave. So
Right.
it's very normal here to basically while away time in a great conversation with a good glass of wine or a carafe of wine,
Yeah.
and just enjoy the food and the company and the time. I agree with Nicole that everything is lacking preservative. You're going to put something in the refrigerator on day one. You better have consumed it by day four at least, because it will be bad. We don't
Yeah.
are not able to keep food because it's not preserved. It's not sprayed, it's not preserved, and like a lot of the processed foods are in the States. So, and the
Yeah.
flavor is just really, really good, because of that. Hmm.
And this is
Yeah.
partially like the culture, again, why with the blackout, we were not super concerned because we're just used to just hanging out, and people were just hanging out. They had wine, they had beers, they hung out.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So they're more like more relaxed, more chill. They don't stress out as
Mhm.
much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That yeah. Yeah. And so but is there something that you miss from the United States besides friends and family?
No, I don't miss anything. I miss
N-
nothing. What about you?
no.
Um, that's a really great question. I just had someone ask me because they were headed to the States from the States to here, if I needed anything from the States. And I really reflected and I was like, oh, I would like, and I was like, no, I can find that here. And oh, I'd like, oh, no, I have that here. And I literally came to, no, I can't think of anything that I need from the States. Everything I need, I have found here.
Yeah, nice. And do you go visit though? Did you go
No,
back since you No, you haven't? No.
no,
We have
And
not
are you
been for that.
No? And are you planning on visiting?
no, not at all.
No.
No,
No,
no.
No. Okay. No, especially not right now. Probably.
exactly.
Maybe
Exactly.
wait 4 years.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. It's just not safe. It's not safe right
Yeah,
now.
no,
Yeah,
I understand.
Yeah.
and quite frankly, you know, there's not a real good why or a good reason to do so. There
Okay.
really isn't. Hmm.
Did your friends from the US or family, did they come and visit you?
No, no one has come yet. No one has come yet. It's very much not leaving the United States is not something that people value a lot. So for a
Yeah.
lot of people, like, why would I leave? I have everything here.
No, I mean just for visiting,
No,
not
no,
for
even
like
just for
moving.
visiting. No, people will travel in the United States, but as far as leaving the United States, many people will not.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I've
I
had
mean
friends.
it is super far from California.
It is.
It is. It's far from California, but I've had people say everything. I haven't even seen the United States yet, so why would I, go to Europe or whatever the case may be?
Because you are there to see you.
But we
Yeah,
also have to, I think we have to be very realistic with, the way that things are in the States right now. People have a lot of stuff going on that
Right.
is
That's true.
very heavy as far as economic
Right.
prohibitions.
That's true. And then you
Um,
don't want to spend like $5,000 on a trip to Europe.
yeah, like when we
yeah.
left
Yeah.
the States, I'm gluten free, and a loaf of gluten free bread in 2023 was $10.
It's insane.
So,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
food is very expensive, and that was
Mm.
almost 2 years ago. So now
Yeah.
it's
Now
even
it's even
more.
more.
People are really living like hand to foot in a lot of places.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. No, but that
Hmm.
is totally understandable. Like
Hmm.
first, Like if you have time and money, then you can make it. Also, like you don't just want to go for like a long weekend or just for 1 week, such a long trip.
Exactly. Yep. You need that,
Yeah.
and that, that costs too. So
Yeah. Yeah.
we get it. We talk to people, on the phone and stuff like that. But I
Mhm.
think I think it's just a different mindset. I think if you decide to stay in the States, you like where you're at. You enjoy it, and I never did, so I'm gonna have a different
Mm.
mindset than a lot of my
Yeah.
friends are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you guys in the city center or where are you in Lisbon?
We are in the city, yes. Hmm.
Nice. I mean, I would just always wonder like how is it in the suburbs, if there are even suburbs.
Yeah, there are suburbs, but they're further out. But I mean, they're still fine because the culture here is, food, coffee shop. So you're not. It's not the suburbs like you would say, like in a northern country or like the United States. It's not the
No.
same.
It's not the
That's
same.
one of the things that I really like about being here is um, when you step out, you are stepping into a community of food and shopping, and there are stores and resources around your immediate neighborhood where you can get everything that you need to do. And the same is true for a more suburban place. Suburb in the States means you kind of disconnect from city center and go out to some, house with a bunch of cows and whatever around you, or grass around you. That's not the case here. Here, a suburb simply means that you're going to be not right in the space called Lisbon Center, but where you are still going to have all of the resources, the shopping, the groceries, and everything in that area. And you also,
Mm-hmm.
it's very walkable, so you can walk and get your groceries, you can walk and get what you need to do, and
You still
and the
have
buses and everything are very much
you still have
there.
public
So,
transport in the there where you
and
are, or not you where you are, but in the suburbs.
in the suburb. Suburb in the
Yeah.
United States, you need a car and you're driving
Yeah.
2 hours back to city center from traffic and all the rest of that. And that's very different from here.
Yeah. So even more accessible or even like easier accessible when you are in the
Mhm.
suburbs to get into like the city center.
Yes,
Very much,
What
very
would
much
yeah.
so.
Yes. What would you recommend to people who are thinking of moving to Lisbon?
I would recommend that people find do it for the right reasons. I think a lot of people who are not successful, because I do have to say, there's quite a few people that I know that have not successfully moved here. They have moved back or moved to other locations. So I think with any place that you're moving to, you have to see how your life will fit in the community that already exists, because you are moving here and you have to fit into this community. And so you have to see the ways in which that is. If you don't have any hobbies, I suggest for people to get hobbies, because
Mm.
otherwise, how are you going to really meet people, and how are you going to integrate into the community and see if the way the community operates, how that aligns with your life. If it doesn't, don't move.
Please don't move.
If it doesn't, don't move, because you're going to be miserable. You will be miserable. You need to, I think that's something that's very hard. I think for a lot of people who have moved, specifically those who are expats, we're immigrants. There's no difference between an expat. An expat, I think, technically is someone who moves specifically for work for a specific amount of time and then moves back. But truthfully, we're immigrants, and much like with
Yeah.
all the other immigrants that are moving places, you have to integrate into the community that's already there. And as an American, we've definitely recognized that as well. And I think for anybody, especially if you're an American moving, you have to do that. It's essential if you want to be successful, I think, and thrive.
Right. And you can't really, if you're coming to Lisbon or any other place that you're coming to, you have to understand that that is a society that was there before you arrived. And your job
Mm-hmm.
is to plug into it. It is not your job to arrive and then demand that it morphs and changes to what you're familiar with.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They were doing just fine before you arrived. They will be just fine when you
Absolutely.
roll up your suitcase and pack and leave and go, because you're coming into a established community, an established society, an established way of doing things, and they are not there to change their way of business simply because you have arrived. So you need to kind of adjust that mental mindset um, as you come into a new place.
Okay, that's very well said. Did you but did you or is there anything that you have a hard time getting used to?
No, not for me. Truthfully, no. I think for me, I'm very lucky because, as I said, I knew that this place worked with how I operate. So for me, it's been
Mm-hmm.
a very, very easy adjustment. Extremely
Uh-huh.
easy.
And for you,
For me,
Diane?
I'm really surprised at how well I've adjusted. I
Uh-huh.
thought it might be a little bit more difficult because I am older. I mean, the hardest thing for me has really been just nailing down the language. But I love the community feel that they have. I love the way they operate. Um, I was speaking to a friend the other day. I said it's kind of like a throwback to a different time period when family and friends and community were important and
Mm-hmm.
and valued. And they've managed all the way up to 2025 to hold on to the importance of family and friends and community. And that's always been something very important to me. And so to be in a place that supports that and celebrates that pretty much in everything they do, all the holidays and everything. It's all about family, friends, and community. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool to be in a place that values the things that I value. So everything
Okay.
else is really just a matter of me learning and growing and having a growth mindset that it may be hard, but it's achievable and I can do it.
Yeah. And but were there like any time like technical problems, let's say with bureaucracy or whatever, like people, let's say like somebody who moves to Lisbon, is there anything they should be aware of?
We've
Like
not
in
had
terms of,
issues. We've
okay,
not
you
had
didn't have any issues.
issues with it, but I do think, because I do think that there is a big conception online of the bureaucracy of Lisbon and this, that, and the third. I had terrible bureaucracy in the United States, and I just talked to a friend about this the other day.
Uh-huh.
Everyone will think their country performs better than the country they moved to, and the only reason is because you know how that country works and you're used to it. And more
Right.
often than if you have moved to another country, especially if you consider yourself an expat versus an immigrant, which often correlates with income as well, you had the money and the privilege to avoid a lot of the hiccups that your country offers to maybe those who did not
Yeah,
make
yeah,
as much
that's
money.
true.
So it's a dual thing that I think a lot of people don't realize. But when your country is just as bureaucratic, and you ask anybody who's moved there, they will tell you, I've had hell. It took me a long time to get this, whether it's finding an apartment in Norway, or whether it's, getting a social security card in the United States, whatever it is,
Getting a driver's license. I
the
mean,
bureaucracy is
the
there.
bureaucracy
Yeah.
of the United States is just as
But a
big.
lot of people,
No,
because you know it and you were born into it, you don't experience it. So you think they do it better in my country. And chances are they don't, but you just are not exposed to it. And being an immigrant, now you're exposed to it. But we, again, we're very fortunate. We've not been exposed to anything. So, knock on
okay.
wood for that. But I think even if we were, I don't come at it from an idea of it's bureaucracy exists everywhere. So I don't think to me, it wouldn't even stand out. It would just be like, okay, I'll
Okay.
get it eventually.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
But no, that's what I meant. Like, I mean, obviously, like if it took a longer time than what you were thinking to get your, I don't know, driver's license, or it took longer to get your, I don't know, internet connection or whatever there is.
Yeah, no, like it took a longer time for us to get the visa.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, that's
like, I
fine.
don't think of it. I think it's just a mentality, I think.
Yeah,
Because
it is. Yes.
yeah, yeah.
I mean, we had an option. You can either be irate, jump up and down, have your blood pressure be sky high, or you can lean into it and relax and realize that as long as you have done all of the steps and the requirements of the documentation that they have asked of you to do, then really it's sitting on someone's desk somewhere, and they will get to it when they get to it.
Yeah, exactly. You just wait.
The wine is inexpensive. Go get a glass of wine and relax.
Yeah. But did you have to get your visa when you were in the United States, or was it that you applied it there?
You apply from the States. You have to apply from your country of origin.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I guess I have no more questions.
Well, we had a good time talking with you.
Yeah, me too. Thank you for telling me about the Black Americans in Lisbon. This is an awesome idea.
Thank you. We're excited for it. We hope it continues to grow and be a safe space for people.
Yeah, the goal for talking to everybody was to have a space, that's a safe space, but to also have a space outside of the United States where the Black American culture is allowed to thrive and survive and be celebrated. And if people are coming to Portugal, why not have that space be here already, since we are here? And that is the reason why we have Black Americans in Lisbon.
Yeah, that's awesome. That were Nicole and Diane from Black Americans in Lisbon. So find out more about them in the show notes from this podcast. So wherever you listen to the podcast, check out the app, and there are the show notes right under the podcast with more information about them. I put a link there, and also I post a flyer on the Instagram of my Instagram, Worlds Collide Pod. And yeah, check them out. If you're in the area, why don't you swing by and say hi, or reach out to them, or find them on their Facebook group if you need more information about moving to Portugal, or need more information about moving to Lisbon. As they said, they helped a few people by now. I'm sure they're happy to help a few more. All right, that was it for this special episode. And I hope you're gonna continue having a nice break, but you also miss us. And that you don't forget about us until we're back after the summer. All right, but that's it. Until then, bye.